I'm in my shed, so please excuse any untoward sounds of stuff falling over or animals crawling under and over. I have a cold drink because it is mighty warm in here, and I'm recording something around interview techniques straight into the camera because I've never really thought about this before, but I've been asked, how do I interview? So I'm going to kind of interview myself in the hope that I can extract from myself what it is I do or what I think makes a good interview. And I'll probably just edit out any yeah, all of that, which obviously will make this a tidier cut. I think there's two types of interview technique that I can think of immediately. One is the kind of journalistic technique where you arrange a nice location, you think a lot about what you're going to say about your audience, about the platform that you are interviewing for, where the information is ultimately going to go, that you write down a series of questions, and so on and so forth, that you probably get to the stage of annoying the person a little bit as you drill deeper and harsher into there, but you also kiss their ass a little bit so that they are easier to release information to you. And then I think there is the kind of interview that I like to do, which is more of the overheard documenting of a conversation. So I'm really crap at shorthand or writing anything down, so I either try to video interview people or audio interview people. Keeping notes, not going to work for me, so for me that's the easiest way, and I lean more towards audio because sticking a camera in someone's face is going to give you a different effect. It's going to not really set the person at ease, whereas having a microphone between the two of you, definitely much more relaxing. So for me, when it comes to preparation, often isn't any. If I'm told I'm just about to speak to someone at, the total top of their game, famous or successful or whatever label you want to put on them, I might occasionally very quickly browse a Wikipedia page, because there's nothing worse about going, so what is it you do again? Which I do all the time. For me, I think rapport is really important. Everything of value that you're going to get from that interview and are able to share with other people is going to come from the person you're talking to, your subject as such. And if that person's not at ease or doesn't feel like talking to you, then you're not going to get anything. So rapport is really important. How do you make somebody feel at ease? Well, if they're very softly spoken, then at the very least you start off being softly spoken as well. You don't go, oh, hello, I've come to interview you and you must give me all the information I want. That's not going to work. Also, don't worry about making a mistake. We are human beings. If you and you are, or you cock up, make a joke about it, because ultimately it might be you want to edit that audio down later on. I find being lazy very beneficial to my workflow, because I will tend to just use the Audioboo app, for example. Audioboo.net links to my account, and when recording somebody and then sending it up, you can't really edit it. It's there, job done. Enjoy. I actually go back and listen to stuff and I'm like, did I say that? Did I really? That's really actually quite interesting. The wind is picking up outside. I'm just going to close the door. So, rapport. I think that if you are talking from kind of a base where you know nothing, then you can't help but bring the listener in and educate them at the same amount of time that you yourself are being educated. Ask stuff that you are genuinely interested and passionate about. The best interview to listen to is not someone just going through the motions and interviewing someone because they have to, because it's when they are genuinely interested in what the subject has to say, and that will come across in an interview. I'd love to summarise all these points, but that's down to you to go, okay, so rapport, be interested. If you can choose who you're interviewing, fantastic. If you're told to go and interview people, probably not so easy to show passion and enthusiasm. But genuinely, I like to talk to people I'm interested in, or the field they work in I'm interested in, or I'm genuinely passionate about that subject as it is. And then just go with the flow. Go where the interview takes you. And if you're having a conversation that goes on for 20 minutes, let it go on for 20 minutes. If you have to edit that down, edit it down. Is that enough insight? I hope so. My school of interviewing is don't pay attention to any of the rules. It might help in your mind if there are a couple of things you think, oh, this would be really good to ask, and then maybe make a note on your mobile phone so that if you do get stuck, you can look down and go, I know what I wanted to ask you. On audio, no one's going to see that, which is good. But don't be afraid of pauses. Don't be afraid of those moments, especially on video. But even on audio, those pauses punctuate all the words either side of them. And you'll get a much more natural interview, I think, if you're getting to feel a little bit about what the person is like behind the words that they are saying. And if they look too comfortable, maybe just throw something in that might make them a little bit uncomfortable, but do it with a smile on your face, so it's not like you're having a go at them, unless you really want to have a go at them. Oh yeah, good argument. Good argument on audio works as well, especially if you've got some points to put forward. I definitely come from a gonzo-esque background. I try to, but find it almost impossible to keep my passion out of a situation. So if someone says, yeah, I was away 2 weeks scuba diving, I'll be like, scuba diving, love it. One of the most amazing experiences I had was night diving. I felt like I was an astronaut. And then I end up going off. And a journalist, it's about your subject. It's about the story. For me, I'm not a journalist. I'm a blogger. And I like playing around. And if I accidentally leak myself into that story, it's no different to a conversation. If you want to do the same thing, it may or may not suit you. But for me, conversations are wonderful. Conversations are where stories are born and evolve and seem a lot more natural than... Okay, question 5. So I'll leave it to you. Have a play around. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. I listened to some of the first recordings I did and I think, what was I thinking? I listen to some of the recordings I've done recently and I also think, what was I thinking? But in between all of that, there are those moments when you just think, wow, I'm so glad that I was in that place, in that time, having that conversation, and that I recorded it. Enjoy and have fun.